Hey Peace Babes, if you like dabbling, crafting, sewing, and upcycling, then you've come to the right place. Today we're revisiting this project from 3 years ago, and I'm going to talk about the mistakes that I made or the things that I would do differently if I were going to do it again. Mistake number 1. After I sanded the car down, I wiped it down with Lysol, and I've recently learned that Lysol leaves a residue. I think that residue may make it harder for the paint to stick to the plastic surface. So I would just use straight water. Mistake number 2, not using primer. I think anything that you can do to make the paint stick better to the car, you should do. I think I might have used paint that is a 2-in-1, but I think maybe if I would have used primer before I used the 2-in-1 paint, that it might be better. Mistake number 3, up until now I've just been guessing that those things would help. Obviously I haven't tried them, but using acrylic paints was definitely something to be considered because, oh my goodness. I figured that using acrylic paints would cause issues, but I wasn't really worried about it because I did use a clear coat over the top of it, and I still had issues with the acrylic sticking. I don't know that I would do it with spray paint still, just because I couldn't get the tape to stick to the surface of the car. So I think I would have had a bigger mess if I had used spray paint, unless there's some magical way of making that happen. But that leads us into mistake number 4, which is leaving it outside in the weather. Pretty soon after I made over the car and we got our pictures, my husband took it out in the backyard and it snowed. As you can see on the seat, it really destroyed my acrylic paint. There are parts of the car that the spray paint also came off, like the wheels or the trunk. I think it's just where water could sit mostly. And so after that happened, I brought it inside and told him that it wasn't allowed to be outside anymore, which is mistake number 5. Not necessarily for the car, because the car was great inside, but with it having red spray paint and kids are kids and we lived in a really small apartment, it kind of biffed up our walls. So we had red streaks all down our hallway and on our doors, and that was not great for renting. So if you're going to make over a cozy coupe car, I suggest leaving it in the garage. Obviously when your kids play with it, they can play outside with it, but when you're storing it in the garage or a shed or some kind of covered carport or something. Hi, babe. Hi. Mistake number 6 is using the adhesive that came on the back of the chrome trim. It really didn't stick all that great to the trim.
And then I'm here too.
This is my baby that's no longer my baby. Huh?
I'm a big girl.
Yeah, you are a big girl. Well, after I realized that the adhesive on the chrome didn't work, I hot glued it, and then a couple days later it started falling off all by itself. So then I used E6000 glue. So using hot glue was mistake number 7. And just as an added bonus, if you do end up using acrylic paint, I would double and triple the clear coat layers that you do over the top of them, just to do the best that you can to make it stick. But those are the things that I would do differently. So if you liked this video or found it at all helpful, go ahead and thump that like button. And if you're new here, then don't forget to thump that subscribe button as well. Peace, babes!
My turn.
Now your turn.